Yeah, I'm fucking beat. The Saturday fucking night, Sabbath, I've been busting my ass off, man. Like nonstop. I've been going at it, getting all this computer stuff set up. I had to name this computer. I got to set up all the network stuff, all the account stuff. Um, I'm going to be developing for Microsoft 11, the Eden Reforestation Project. I'm going to be contributing to it, working alongside it, and along with my own version for my company to help reforest this world, this earth of ours, because all the trees. That's where most of my money is going to be getting dumped back into, is big organic type of farming systems for cities and stuff. I have developed a system, a plan that will help our country be more sustainable. But I need help kind of going over everything. And I want some other people's opinions, before, I start dumping money into this type of project that I have in mind. So that's later down the road, which I weighed up a heart. It doesn't weigh very much. It says it only weighs almost 1 ounce, so it's almost 1%er. It's almost a 1%er. It's not a 1%er yet. One day it will be, once I put some gold in there. But I fucking just glued the shit out of it. I just said fuck it. I just left the other Gorilla Glue on there, and I just fucking poured it on top of that Gorilla Glue. It seems to be alright for now. I want this, man. I gotta have this on my boat. I'm gonna keep it. You gotta have a scale, and I'll have a digital one, because I'm gonna be weighing fish, that type of stuff, I'll pull like a little fish out of the water, or a snail or something. Just an example, I'm gonna have a log. I'm gonna be weighing it, all that stuff. There's gonna be a bunch of scientific stuff on the boat, equipment to study, not only the earth and, animals and plants, but we're going to have a lot of video equipment and telescope equipment to study the stars and the galaxy. And we're going to be mapping out stuff, not only the weather, but we're going to be mapping out stars, all that stuff, which you can kind of see a little bit tonight. I've been messaging my boy Dave back and forth. Also, we might have a place to stay. I'm going to meet this lady tomorrow. She just messaged me. I asked her if it's month to month, can we meet tomorrow? And she says yes. If I could get some video footage, I will. We might be we might be hopping on the bus or walking, figuring out how to get over there. I might have Bill take me something and go check out this place. It's month to month rent. It's $150. She wants $300 down, so first month's rent plus $150. And it closes at 10, so I won't be able to sleep there, but I can put all my stuff there, right? Not have a storage unit, work out of it, have a place to work with the internet connection, right? For only $150 a month to month. So I don't have to sign a contract or anything. All I gotta do is give this lady some money, and I'll have a pretty big area, and it's not far from here. It's doable, and it's in the heart of the tech. So Southfield, Michigan is the tech city of Michigan. Like how you have Silicon Alley and Silicon Valley in California. Southfield, Michigan, that's our tech center. It's not Detroit. It's not Grand Rapids. It's not Lansing. It's not Bloomfield Hills, Royal Oak. It's Southfield, Michigan. That's where all the high rises are for all your major banks, and that's where all the people that have a lot of money and companies that have, all these computer things and stuff and servers and stuff, that's where they do a lot of their banking. Anybody that has a lot of money that has been in Michigan or do business in Michigan, I guarantee they know of Southfield, had been in Southfield and conduct business in Southfield. So this is also why I was looking over there. And I might be looking tomorrow. We will see what she says. She says she likes what it is that I'm doing. She said she's all for it. She thinks it's awesome what it is I'm doing. And she said the only problem was that she closes the gate at 10 o'clock. So I told her, if it's month to month, I might be able to work something out. I might be able to work with that for now, I'll be able to put, stuff in there and work. I'll just have to find a place to crash at night. So a couch or something for the next 2 weeks. Because I'm going to be looking for a job type deal. I'm going to be hopefully helping my buddies out, somebody I know, or we'll see. We'll find out tomorrow, Monday. Monday is going to be a crazy day. Tomorrow, I got to move all this furniture. I got to get it all started. I'm going to be moving that truck. I'm moving the truck and this motor down to Bill's house. Bill's going to let me keep it in his backyard and the motor until I can hopefully have someone that I've been speaking with, a friend of mine, a business owner. He's very successful. He's actually looking for a plane. I told him that I can help him. I have all that background. I know how to work on them, all those things. I'm very intelligent. People don't understand this. I try to tell people where I've been, what I've done, and all those things, and people don't take me serious. I think it's a baby face. So that's why I started doing the videos, because that was another problem I was having with a lot of other my businesses in the past, was I didn't have a way to show who I was or what I was about. It was very difficult for me in my 20s to prove to people what it is I'm capable of doing. So therefore, I was never really given an opportunity or given a chance to succeed, right? So this is very important for you if you're in your 20s to start. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have had the knowledge then that I do now, is start marketing yourself. Start building yourself your own platform, so to speak, to work from on the internet and in digital media. Because people today are so reliant on word of mouth and what other people think of you and stuff. So therefore, if you have these videos, right? That one kid that did mention, he's like, you got all these videos, blah, blah, blah. You only have 52 subscribers, blah, blah, blah. I only had 2 videos and I already have 50 subscribers. Bro, listen, you made that YouTube forever ago, all right? I made my YouTube a year ago. I made one video. I didn't do any videos while I was working, setting up business. Now I've been hitting it. I've been uploading all these videos on purpose. Now, what he doesn't understand is my Facebook, all right? There's one that got hacked, which went viral because of my writing. Now I have my second one, which is basically my original Facebook. I decided to just use my original Facebook, my personal Facebook that I've always had since I made my one before. I've had many Facebooks. We'll get the discussion later, but this one I've had since 18, and so I was like, you know what, I'll just use my own personal one, and then I started doing the same thing I was doing with the other Facebook that went viral, Life-Stories Perspectives. I just hashtagged and started doing my rhyming, how I hashtag stuff, whatever I come up with, who I am, and whatever my heart is telling me to be creative with, I hashtag my poetry. I'm the hashtag man. I'm the one that started really writing whole news lines, okay? No one ever did that. Everyone would hashtag a couple, but I would max it out and keep on going. That's how my Facebook started going viral in the first place, my old Facebook, which I understood that. That's how walls are built. That's how all these things are connected, which I've been developing for this, okay? The application that I have is somewhat of a system that goes and tags all these different, walls, and will bring them together for people to go through and source, so they can look at all these walls and find people and find topics and find companies all around the world, because we have 1 billion people in this world, right? We have all these walls, right? All these different languages, right? There's so many people that I know in other parts of the world that speak a different language. We have the same interests. So my program will pull all these things, all these walls, all right? And then it's going to translate. It's been translating the languages, right? And then I'm able to contact this person or see where this person is about. I'm able to, see if this person has, a YouTube account, a Facebook account. If he has, anything that's similar to this, it basically checks that wall, right? That hashtag, that keyword, and then goes from there. I have it doing multiple things. It's a lot of work. I have a headache from it. My head hurts all night, all day from it. Today, my head's boom, boom, just banging. That's why I drink so much coffee. I've been developing in Kali Linux, which I finally got some. So the Disney collection finally downloaded 125 gigabytes. The Fist of Jesus downloaded. Steven Seagal is still installed. It says 50 gigabytes of 118 downloaded. The Rescue is never started, but we're going to check out the Disney movie collection. We're just going to remove the torrent, not delete them, but remove the torrent, because we don't need it anymore. Fist of Jesus, we'll remove that one too. Alright. So we're just going to close this. That's fine. No, we're going to actually open that back up because we wanted to download, duh. So we're going to open this back up. Transmission. It's just like uTorrent or any other torrent program. BitTorrent is the most popular one. That's a paid version. uTorrent is like the same thing. There's a bunch of them. You got LimeWire, FrostWire. Those are peer-to-peer, just like this. They're just not torrents though. They're capable of torrenting stuff. Just like this, because it is a peer-to-peer. It just has like a search engine in it. Like I could go here in a sense, for example, theoretically, and type in, like music or a movie, and it would pull up anybody sharing. So, I actually closed transmission, turned it back on. It looks like it's actually found a connection. So that was a good thing. Even though, see how slow it's going, 491 kilobytes. Listen. My crazy ass would sit at 700 kilobytes and download movies for days back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s-ish. That's about what the speeds were around 2005, 06, 07, somewhere around there. Right around there is about the most you would get. Like an average person would get about 700 kilobytes. You'd get about a megabyte down. That was killing it. If you were getting a megabyte down, you were the shit, bro. Like, you had money, your parents had money, or you had money, you know what I mean? You were doing well as far as the internet connection was going. So we're going to go open a folder. We're going to open 2 of them, like that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead, open up an expansion. We know the movie folder's here. So we're going to go movie shows, open this up, then we'll go back here. We're going to go downloads. The Disney movie collection, we're going to go ahead, we're going to go cut. We're going to go over here. We're going to left click, then right click, hit paste, left click. It's going to go ahead and transfer that. It says 35 minutes remaining. We're going to do the same thing with this. Cut, right click, left click, right click. Left click and paste. And then once this one is transferring, this one is queued to go next. So we'll go here. We'll open up another folder. Download. We got the ROMs, the Steven Seagal collection. We're just gonna do this real quick. We got Disney movies from 1928 to 1949. These are all the World War II ones, man. These are the good ones where like Mickey's, getting drunk and slapping Minnie around and stuff, all that type of stuff. It's probably because I'm transferring stuff, and it's probably because I'm transferring stuff. I'm doing a lot in this computer. This computer is only a dual core processor. Listen, man, it's not much. See how the CPU's maxed out? That's why it was running choppy. Because it's trying to decode the video, and I'm over here, and it doesn't have an SSD. That's one thing I do got to upgrade. It's got a 1 terabyte solid drive, right? So you got to think, right? If you picture a solid drive like a record player running like this, right? There's an arm that moves back and forth, right? It goes like this. It reads. That arm, before the hard drive turns on, is always sitting on the inside of the disk, right? When it reads out. It goes back and forth. Well, that's what this is doing. It's going back and forth reading, right? So this computer, not only is it just a dual core, processing computer, which, it has enough RAM, it's maxed out, plus I'm using Kali Linux, a Debian-based operating system, which is Unix, which it's the best you're going to get, okay? It's the best of the best. You can't get any better. It's like that. But that physical disk, right, because it's not a flash drive like this, where the data, the information that's reading and writing is moving at the speed of electricity, right? The speed of light, because electricity, if you think about it, is light. If you see lightning, right? So it can only move as fast as that physical disk. That's its limitations. It don't matter how much computer power you have. If you have a physical disk moving back and forth, that's going to be your bottleneck. We call it bottleneck. So all the data's got to it's going to be fast, and then you basically sending through all that fucking data through a little hole in a sense, So it's getting all backed up right there. That's why they burn out, People overuse them, overwork them and stuff. That's why I turn the video off. It's going to take 48 minutes to transfer 116 gigabytes of data from the physical drive in here that's like this, right? It's got a physical drive that moves back and forth. So guess what? Another physical drive. So I have a terabyte in here and 4 terabytes here. That's 5 terabytes total. Just, you know what I mean? Just in data. I'm getting full. Listen, this thing is getting full. I've had tons of them full, just in people's, information, right? I had so much information, people's credit cards, all that stuff. They give me the information in the point of sale system. They got to be able to trust you. This is why, people hack those businesses and stuff. You go into a cell phone store, right? You give them your credit card information, you swipe the card, or whatever it is, right? If they physically put your address, your phone number in that computer, right, on the point of sale system so they can conduct business, I, right, can connect remotely over the internet if I can guess your password and username, if I know your IP address and I know that you have a port that's open, and say you're running some older software that's been outdated, it hasn't been updated, and somebody found a bug or a code or a rote code that can get into that software that's running that service, whether it's a game or a website or a file transfer protocol, torrenting, like we were just doing. It could be anything. Most people like Metasploit. That's what Metasploit is used for a lot. If you open up Metasploit, which is exploitation tools, Metasploit framework, you open this up, It says type in your password because you can do some damage with it. It doesn't want anybody to just be able to open it up. It says starting database, which is the libraries to run it. Creating database, user MSF, creating database. It's doing all the stuff it needs to do. Creating initial database schema. We're not going to do anything today. I'm just showing you. This is what they use. This is probably one of the most used there's many, but this has got to be one of the biggest ones that they use to hack Windows, to hack this operating system. But it's not just hacking. You have to understand, man. People think that hacking, the word hacking, it's a big term. Because you're just reverse engineering, code and software and and that runs physical, things, so it's a gray area in a sense, you know what I mean? Because you have to almost hack it, right? All these security analysts, right? Analysts, they're paid to. They get paid by these software companies, these security company firms and stuff that are contracting out all this technology for all these different companies, that run all these different services, whether it's robotics or it's whatever it is, right? They gotta be able to get into it and try to figure out if there is a way in there so that if they find it, they can patch it and fix it before some other people do and get into it and just destroy everything and take what they want. Because this program or software on this business, is really reliant on the software to keep this information secure. Like Facebook, right? Facebook's definitely got to be with YouTube, really. If YouTube is the number one visited site in the world, right, which it is, you can Google this. It's the number one visited site in the world. All those people that have accounts, right, they go on YouTube, they type in their username and password, right? People are a creature of habits, right? They tend to use the same password for all of their accounts, right? That's what they do. So therefore, if the hackers, they're trying to hit YouTube, constantly hack into YouTube and get into their database that has all of their usernames, all of their, people that have accounts with them, all of their usernames and passwords. And then what they'll do is they'll dump it into a file, which they have, which has Hack5 talked about it. It's released on the internet. It's called a text word file. It's called a word list. People have hacked those type of places. I'll show you guys one day. It's not illegal to have this. All it is just a text file of words and usernames. And somebody, whether they worked for Facebook or whoever, they leaked this out. They either got into it remotely or they were inside the building physically, wherever way. It doesn't matter how they got it and they released it. They leaked it. We call it leaking. This is why like Apple, when the government a few years ago tried to approach, I forget that guy's name, I forget what it was, but they tried to get Apple to unlock their phones. They were like, because not only would the government have, once they unlock that phone, right, the government would be able to see exactly how they locked it down and then would be able to just go in everybody's shit. It wouldn't be secure, okay? And then what happens if they do unlock it and then somebody releases, say the government does, right? Say the government doesn't, do that and is, supposed to be on the up and up about it. But you got one person that's a slime ball, right, that works for them decides, I'm in a bad mood today. We'll leak it out anyways under an anonymous name. Who's to say who did it? That's what happens constantly, 24/7, 7 days a week. That's mostly most robberies. I study everything, man. Listen, I study human behavior, the world. I'm a professor. I'm building my own school on the internet. All right? If you put all this stuff together, man, listen to what it is I'm saying. I forgot what I was just about to touch on, but if you listen to what I'm saying, you know what it is I'm speaking. I know what I'm talking about. You know that I'm not on some bullshit, and you know that I'm very intelligent, and you know what it is I'm saying is the truth. So, we're gonna smoke. I need to smoke. My head hurts from all this thinking, dude. I'm serious. I think it's my favorite thing to do is learn. That's my favorite thing to do. And hands down, it's the favorite thing to do is learn and teach people. It's my, and heal. I'm a healer. I see why I see why David gave me all that fucking weed. He didn't want to fucking deal with it, man. Look. Listen, he grows pounds. Listen, he takes care of a lot of people, you know. He grows enough weed to feed dispensaries, okay? He supplies the dispensaries in this area, right, with a lot of marijuana. And a lot of people actually like his marijuana and prefer it over other people's. They know what they're doing. You know, they do. They know what they're doing. Because they have a passion for it. But I know why he went through he gave me all of this. Because it's all the shake, right? From all the different weeds on this big ass tray, right? And it's all the stems that get fucking, you roll a joint, all the bud, you pull the stems, right? You take all that, you push it to the side with all the stems. That's what this is. This is all the leftovers from all the fucking people coming over. All the fucking joints smoked from the past fucking 6 months. Half a year. That's what this is, man. And every time he was smoking on it, and, you dump it, right? You're digging through all these stems, man. From, from all the bud that has been broken up. That's why, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna bless dog. I'm gonna bless retrospect. And I know why it is. Why he blessed me. Because I came, first he hasn't seen me forever. We're good friends like that. We know each other back from middle school. You hear me? That long ago. Like his mom would bring me weed, okay? In middle school. Alright? I used to sell his mom weed. His mom would call me for weed. Alright? She would call a 13-year-old for weed. David, she would ask David, her own son, to get weed for her. David would get it for her. David's house was the coolest house in the whole neighborhood to be to. And to be at. If you wanted to go somewhere in this neighborhood, the house I'm at now, the person I got this weed from, everybody my age went to that house. That was the spot. That's where you looked for a girlfriend. That's where you would meet up with girls. All that stuff. I couldn't tell you how many times I left that house to go on a date or meet up with a girl or something like that because I would be over there trying to get weed. Because if I stopped through there was a very, very 9 times out of 10. For every 10 times I went there, 9 times I would have pot. Or most of the time, I ain't gonna lie, most of the time, I'd go over David's house a lot when I didn't have any money for weed. Because I knew if I went over David's house, I'd get high, I'd get smoked out. Everybody was already smoking. There would already be blunts being passed around. All I had to do was just show up for a minute, hit a blunt a couple times, carry on. I'm serious. I'm not lying. I've always been, listen, man, your boy is a hustler. I am the hustle. You understand? There is no other person that can hustle like me. You're not gonna out hustle me. You just can't. Go ahead and try. Listen, you're not going to. And the reason why is because ain't nobody gonna dress up on a corner like a woman in tights like me and sell themselves. You hear me? That's why. I'm telling you right now, I get butt ass naked right on the corner right now. Sell myself. Think I'm lying. Sell myself right now. I sold my soul to Jesus. I had two choices. Jesus said in the Bible, you're either with me or against me. So therefore, it's clearly saying you have two choices. You either join God or you sell yourself to the devil. I already sold myself to the devil once. Twice. 3 times I sold myself to him. I OD'd 3 times in my life. The last one was bad. Real bad. I couldn't think for a week straight. I was so fucked up. I was slurring my words. I knew I was fucked up. I knew I was slurring my words. I knew it. What sucked too was I knew I couldn't do nothing about it. I knew that it would be a miracle for me to come back. I knew that if I were to gain my memory back, that it was Jesus that did it. And I know that's because I begged him every day for almost 2 weeks straight, probably almost a month. You can ask my dad. My dad was there. One of my exes left me. Her name was Brittany, piece of shit. She left me because of it, because she said that I was still getting high. I wasn't. I relapsed one time. One time. Never went back. Soon as I did it, I knew it wasn't real. Soon as I did it, I knew I was dead. I even called her. Told her I'm sorry. She said, sorry for what? And then I told her, I said, I'm sorry. And I told her I loved her, and then that was it. I was out. I woke up to a Detroit cop. An Arabic cop. He was Arabic. He didn't report me. He didn't call me in. He ran my name and seen that I haven't been in trouble in over 5 years. He seen that I was straight. I had a nice vehicle. He seen I didn't have no tickets, nothing. He said I had nice clothes on. He said he went through my wallet. He said I had over $1,000 in my wallet. He said that's not a typical junkie. Then he told me, I thought maybe you were a troublemaker, you know what I mean? That's why I ran your name. And he said, I seen that you haven't been in trouble in 5 years, that you did joint time. And then he said, what surprised me is you weren't full of tattoos. And then you had a cross. He said, you have this cross on you. Arabic guy said this. I woke up to him fucking socking me in my chest. Ha! Ha! And rubbing me like this. Taking the EpiPen. Me and fucking put an EpiPen. Ambulance. They took 3 Narcans. They said 3 Narcans up my nose to bring me back up. Listen, I went right back out as soon as I came up. As soon as I woke back up, I was falling right back out. It hit me again. I was supposed to call my parole officer. Never did. Never reported it, called it in. It was bad. Crackhead saved me, he said. So crackhead see me. I was underneath the light. I going around the corner, and on my truck, I guess he said my truck was parked right underneath the light, taking a left turn. The wheel was cocked, everything. I was slumped on my wheel like this, with my foot on the brake with it in park. He said that I knew, he told me he could tell that I knew I was falling out, that I knew to park, to pull over. He said he could tell. He said this is crazy. He said he's never seen that. He's never seen that. And what's funny is the time before that, I did the same thing. My dad, I OD'd. I knew I was falling out. I pulled up at a gas station on the wrong side of the gas pump. I was in the car for a half an hour before somebody banged on the door. The owner of the gas station, some lady came in, he said, and said that there's somebody out there, been out there for half an hour, hasn't moved. Looks like they're sleeping. Yeah. My dad said it was right down the street from my dad's house. And what's funny is I told my dad I didn't want to be at that house, that I wasn't comfortable there, that I wasn't happy there. He wasn't happy. I watched this man. I watched this woman and this man. I watched this man be with women my whole life. Woman after woman, just so he wouldn't be lonely. And I was going through relationships issues too, right? And he wasn't helping me work at anything. He wouldn't help me fix anything. He wouldn't do anything. All he wanted to do was scrap and make money. That's all he ever wanted to do. He never wanted to do anything that was creative or imagination, you know what I mean? Or apply himself. And I didn't want to be there. I hated being there. As soon as his woman absolutely hated me being there. She despised it. I didn't do anything to this woman, right? She just didn't want nobody in her house. And her kids were fucking retarded. And my dad didn't like her kids. So it was just a bunch of fucking conundrum, confusion bullshit. And I have my father telling me he don't want to be alone. That he wants me to be with him. So here I am, an adult, listening, trying to make it work constantly with this man through all these years. Listen, if you have parents that are like that, you don't have to be with your parents. Just listen, man, the apple doesn't always fall far from the tree. Sometimes the tree is on a hill and it just needs a little push, a little gravity to pull it. Get away from them. I promise you, get away from them. They're doing nothing but holding you back. Because my dad did nothing. Listen, my two older brother's father is not even my real father. I call him my dad. I have his last name. This motherfucker has kept me from chasing my dreams my whole life because he took me in, right? Because he took me in, has raised me, right? I felt that I owed something to this man. I owed my life to this man. I felt that I had to be in this man's life because of him and what he has done for me. And he made me think that way. He grew me like that because he didn't want to be alone. And then as I realized what he did, and I approached him, I'm thankful this guy wasn't a predator, because I can't imagine what those people go through. He is a good man. This is a good man. He just don't take credit for anything that he's done that he's fucked up on. He believes that he has had a decent life. He's worked his whole life. He got a pension and disability. This is why I asked him to split the bills here so I could go and travel. I wanted to take him with me. I wanted to do stuff with him. And it hurt to watch him say, no, I don't want to do anything with you. He wouldn't even listen, man. He wouldn't even go out in that garage and help me work on that car, which I'm about to give it away. I just told my buddy, look, I'll give you the Geo Metro, man. And I'll help you find parts and we'll build a go-kart or something out of it for now. If you help me put my truck together. Because I don't want to spend money. And I don't have money right this moment. I got $1,200 into that car. You know, when I already did have to work restoring it. You know, I cut out all the metal. All you gotta do is just weld it back in and put... There's very little to that car. You don't need much. So, you know, it needs work, but it's hard to find those in that condition. In 94 alone, and they're cool cars. They are. So I'm hoping my boy, this guy, he owns a business. He just sold the fucking semi-trailer for 25 G's. He owns a beautiful home in Temperance, Michigan, okay? He offered me a job when I was working at Ferris, okay, making $100,000 a year, all right? This man would come in with this semi, and I'll go out there and go see him when he would be there. I've sat on the side of his truck, his semi, holding onto his mirror while he fucking's got the sweet ass old school fucking diesel turbo dumping like cool as fuck, all chromed out. Fucking, you know what I mean? And he's got this dump, and he's dumping it, you know what I mean? When he seen me, he was surprised. He's like, you run this bitch? Yeah, I run this bitch. Yeah. You didn't think I knew something, huh? No, it wasn't even like that, I promise. David's awesome, man. He was on the scale and all that. And then, you know, we talked, and what's funny is he said, you know what's funny is I hate running these loads sometimes. I'm like, why is that? He's like, because the loads freeze overnight. Sometimes he gets forced, you know, to leave a load overnight. He parks it in his driveway at home, right? And then he'll bring it in the morning where I at work. Dump it. It's called fluff, which the shit catches on fire too. Listen, man, this man offered me a job, $1,500 a week. I almost took it. I was about to go get my semi-license. I almost took it. Except I was making a little bit more money. I was making $1,400 to $1,600, sometimes $1,700 after taxes a week. He couldn't match that number, or the experience. You know what I'm saying? And also, I wasn't on the road. You know what I mean? I was moving. I was doing what I do best, computer stuff. I can't sit in a car for hours, a truck for hours at a time, and I'll kill somebody. I'll back into somebody. I can't do it. Plus this, I smoke too much marijuana. That job, I pass that test, I get in there, I can smoke all the marijuana I want. They don't give a fucking air, and I'm not, even though I'm not supposed to be, if I were to get tested and they test positive for this, bye-bye job, everything, I took that risk. It was worth it for me because I know who I am. I know how I am. I wasn't worried about all that. Half the people in there anyways drink because they're working 12-hour shifts. And that place knows that. It's a revolving door for the people. The job that I had making $100,000 a year, I wasn't making that when I first got there. I worked my way up to that job. I showed them what I was capable of doing, that I was a hard worker. And then I got in with the people that actually ran the place, and they liked my personality. They liked who I was. They liked how I carried. They liked how Retrospect carried himself. And they realized that this man knew exactly what he was doing, what he was talking about, and why he was talking about it. Therefore, not even within 90 days, I had keys to the fucking office. I had keys to the tower. I was running a fucking business that just sold for $750 million that I was responsible for on midnight shift. Like, come on, man. I'm so tired of people trying to tell me what I can do, who I am, what I'm capable of. And this is just a little job that I had briefly for a year. I'm not going to go into everything before. Eventually, I'll get to it, but not tonight. So, I told my boy, I was like, look, man, I'll give you the car, I'll give you the diff, I'll give you the transfer case. I need your respect. I need your help. I need your knowledge because he's buying a plane. He wants to buy a plane. I told him I'll help him with this FCC license study because I'm getting mine as well. I gotta renew it. All that stuff. I have to get everything legal, which I'm going to be showing you guys all this stuff. I have the FCC stuff downloaded, which Metasploit finally opened, which is a heart and an M. Says Metasploit version 6.3.21-dev. It says 2,327 exploits, 1,218 auxiliary, 413 posts, 1,385 payloads, 46 encoders, 11 NOPs, and 9 evasions. Says Metasploit tip: view advanced module options with advanced Metasploit documentation, which you can go to https://docs.metasploit.com, and then there is your terminal, your little line. So yeah, that's it. That's what most people use to decode and encode the world. Listen, you can do a lot of cool stuff with it. Look it up. Go on YouTube. Listen, man, we're going to be going through YouTube stuff. We're going to be checking out other YouTubers eventually, and we're going to be learning that stuff through Bash scripting, all that stuff. We're going to be writing scripts to use Metasploit and all that stuff if I end up using it. All these different programs, I'm going to be using them to connect these weather. I got to get all these weather devices to communicate to each other. Not only that, I got to be able to have my app that I'm rolling out, right? Be able to communicate with all these different devices and work on everybody's phone and be able to work through all these different connectivity systems that are already out and that are coming out that I've been helping developing. I have in my mind that I have invented. They're similar to like Google Mesh networks, but they work a different way. Theoretically, I've been able to test this and get the stuff to work on a small scale. I don't have the money or the resources right this moment to develop and research and design to actually make something fully functional for an appliance for your home, like a router or a modem that everyone has in their home if they use the internet. So yeah, I'm gonna grab my coffee. We're gonna do some Bible reading and then I'll upload the video. I gotta finish that milk. She didn't finish her cat food. These I never finished. They fucking already melted. I miss having a freezer. It's been rough living here without a fridge and a stove. It's been tough. I don't mind it because of what I'm doing and all the traveling I get to do and stuff. I know I'm leaving and my background and what I've been through and how I like to live anyways. I'm about to be sailing. I'm okay with it, but it's nice to be able to get a hot meal in. I've always at least had a stove and a fridge, which my boat will have a burner, a gas stove, will have a burning stove. And it'll have a water box, it'll have a ice box, it might have a fridge, it might have a full freezer. I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to do yet because the Catalina 27 is a small boat. That's what I plan on sailing around the world in, is the Catalina 27. The more research I do, the more it makes sense. And it's the smallest boat that I can sail by myself if I end up doing this by myself without Margot, which is very possible that I might end up doing this by myself. She might get scared or whatever happens, you know. You never know what's going to happen, you know. She might not want to go all the way, you know what I mean? She might end up having something going on for herself, right? She was talking about doing some ocean cruises, you know, for 90 days at a time, and then, you know, bringing the money back, you know what I mean? And then we buy stuff for the boat or whatever it was, and then we go on a next venture. So, which is funny is my buddy told me he's looking at this plane. He wants to buy this plane, and it's funny because the place I am going to be sailing out at, I'm going to have a dock where he could dock his boat, so he wouldn't have to pay for a airstrip. It'd be off the water. Just he wants water pontoon, just like that. And if I'm studying, what's amazing, if I'm studying, I'm out in the water for 90 days. I don't have to go sail back in. I have a friend that I know personally that is not smoking pot, that is 100% sober, that is going to be willingly picking me up and dropping me off places to study with this plane, which is amazing stuff. So we're gonna be meeting him soon. I messaged him. He's gonna sleep on it. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna sleep on it. He's got to go help somebody tomorrow with his buddy Semi, and he's gonna be getting surgery soon on his foot. So I kind of took advantage of that when he told me that, and I said, "Look, man, I'll help you, bro. I'll cut your grass. I'll do truck work. I'll change out your tires. I'll do the oil changes. Whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? I basically told him I'll be your fucking work slave, as I throw joints everywhere. I'll be your work slave. Whatever you need, done. I told him the amount of money I need, why I need it, and I'm gonna take that money if it does happen. I'm going to this place regardless, no matter what. Those lofts I showed you. The gentleman has many of them available. So, and it's the best place for me, the best price, everything. I keep on dropping this joint. It's the best price, the best place. It's small enough. It's not too big. I can put my desk in there. I can meet people to do interviews, all that stuff. I can crash there if I want. He don't care. It has 24 access. That's my other problem. The other place doesn't have 24/7 access. I'll have a key to both doors. It has a bathroom and internet, and it has parking space. I'm going to save up my money. I'm getting a pass. I'm going to become a member with a club, a sailing club, which I'll be going over the reasons why soon. And which one I picked and why I picked it. Which I mentioned before, they have them in Michigan. This is also why they have one here in Pentwater, Michigan, where it's by Silver Lake Sand Dunes, which is my favorite place in the world to be growing up, family-wise, vacation-wise, which is the place I proposed to Margarita Mago. So, where she said yes. So, it's very important to me that I have a place there. I can go there to this resort and shower and all that stuff. So my office is going to be in 5 Mile, which is my favorite number. It's going to be a 5 Mile Telegraph, always in Detroit. I'm going to rent that place 6 months for now, and then that's going to be my permanent office forever. As long as that place remains, it's going to be my permanent office. Which I'll be having somebody work out of it, a female work out of it for me. I'm going to be looking for an assistant, a woman assistant in a sense, that can be HR department for a small business, small that can handle about 50 employees, no more. She has to be able to handle 50 employees. She's got to be married, or at least she's got to have some type of family, and they all got to be living in the house. I got to be able to see the person, see how they're living, all that stuff. I got to be able to judge the character, the behavior, all that. So if that's you, and you want to make $100,000 a year, if not more, by next year, contact me. This year it's gonna be all tough. You're gonna have to be kind of working for me out of sheer faith in Jesus, that this is gonna blow up, which it will. And that I will be able to provide you with whatever it is you need provided with for your family. So if you believe in what it is that I am saying, subscribe to my channel. You hear me? Contact me. Comment. I will talk to you. It says chapter 45. It says I got 11 minutes to that's done, and then it'll transfer, which I got to get all this shit transferred tonight, all this stuff. So I'm gonna be very busy. I won't be able to do much videos. I got to get all this stuff packed up. I got to get the rest of this stuff finished. I'll be able to do more stuff later, other places and different people's houses, internet connections at motels, at hotels. We might be hacking into people's internet, which I'm joking. We won't be doing that. I can show you guys how to do that, though. It says, the God who forms light and darkness, chapter 45. It says, God's message to his anointed, to Cyrus, whom he took by the hand to give the task of taming the nations, of terrifying the kings. He gave him free rein, no restrictions. I'll go ahead of you, clearing and paving the road. I'll break down bronze city gates, smash padlocks, kick down barred entrances. I'll lead you to buried treasures. Secret caches of valuables, confirmations that it is, in fact, I, God, the God of Israel, who calls you by your name. It's because of my dear servant Jacob, Israel, my chosen, that I've singled you out, called you by name, and given you this privileged work, and you don't even know me. I am God, the only God there is. Besides me, there are no real gods. I'm the one who armed you for this work, though you don't even know me, so that everyone from east to west will know that I have no God rivals. I am God, the only God there is. I form light and I create darkness. It says, I form light and create darkness. I make harmonies and create discords. I, God, do all these things. Open up heavens and rain. Clouds pour out buckets of my goodness. Loosen up earth and bloom salvation. Sprout right living. I, God, generate all this. But doom to you who fight your maker. You're a pot at odds with the potter. Does clay talk back to the potter? What are you doing? What clumsy fingers? What a sperm say to a father who gave you permission to use me to make a baby? Or a fetus to a mother? Why have you cooped me up in this belly? Thus God, the Holy of Israel, Israel's maker, says, do you question who or what I'm making? Are you telling me what I can or cannot do? I made earth, and I created man and woman to live on it. I handcrafted the skies and direct all the constellations and their turnings. And now I've got Cyrus on the move. I've rolled out the red carpet before him. He will build my city. He will bring home my exiles. I didn't hire him to do this. I told him. It says, I of God, the angel armies. God says, the workers of Egypt, the merchants of Ethiopia, and those status Sabians will all come over to you, all yours, docile in chains. They'll follow you, hands folded in reverence, praying before you. Amazing, God is with you. There is no other God, none. It says, look at the evidence. It says, clearly, you are a God who works behind the scenes, God of Israel, Savior God, humiliated. All those others will be ashamed to show their faces in public. Out of work and at loose ends, the makers of no God idols won't know what to do with themselves. The people of Israel, though are saved by you, God saved with an eternal salvation, they won't be ashamed. They won't be at loose ends ever. God created, it says, God, creator of the heavens, he is. Remember, God, maker of earth. He put it on its foundations, built it from scratch. He didn't go to all that trouble to just leave it empty, nothing in it. He made it to be lived in. This, God says, I am God, the one and only. I don't just talk to myself or mumble under my breath. I never told Jacob, seek me in emptiness, in dark nothingness. I am God. I work out in the open, saying what's right, setting things right. So gather around, come on in, all you refugees and cast-offs. They don't seem to know much, do they? Those who carry around their no-God blocks of wood, praying for help to a dead stick? So tell me what you think. Look at the evidence. Put your hands together. Make your case. Who told you in a long time ago what's going on here? Who made sense of things for you? Wasn't I the one God? It had to be me. I'm the only God there is. The only God who does things right and knows how to help. So turn to me and be helped. Saved. Everyone, whoever and wherever you are, I am God, the only God there is. The one and only. I promise in my own name, every word out of my mouth does what it says. I never take back what I say. Everyone is going to end up kneeling before me. Everyone is going to end up saying of me, yes, salvation and strength are in God. All who have raged against him will be brought before him, disgraced by their unbelief. And all who are connected with Israel will have a robust, praising, good life in God. Chapter 46, it says, this is serious business, rebels. Which I'm going to close that up for the night. We gotta sleep on that. I got a lot to do. I gotta get back to work. I got. Listen, you don't understand what it is I'm doing and how much work all the stuff I gotta do and put together. Listen, I gotta come up with millions of dollars to be able to dump into research and design. You know what I mean? And I'm going to do it. There's no one stopping me, and I'm going to be sailing around the world real soon. I got to get down to Florida, so yeah. Subscribe. I need to. Oh, I almost threw up. Not literally, but oh, that coffee. It's making me burp. Listen, subscribe. I need you. I need you. Jesus needs you. These families need you. We all need you. The more subscribers I can get, the more people I can let know, teach about this global warming and show everyone what is really happening to this earth. You guys can join me. You guys can help me figure it out. You guys can do these studies with me. You guys can have suggestions. If you guys have anything suggesting about these storms or places I should visit, what apps to use, if you're into these type of things already, help me out. I need it. We all need help, right? So, yeah. Reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out. I'm here. And I won't stop uploading videos. So, everyone might as well get used to me.